Greetings, ladies and metal gents, and welcome to today's edition of Retribution, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called Retribution, written by Infernalism. You are beaten. The words had been the first spoken to him in the last, at least 12 hours. They'd come for him, for all of them in the night. Reverberating blasts of sound waves designed to disorientate and disable. He had had enough time to sit up in bed and see the holes in his home's walls, and then nothing. He had woken up here, in a simple stark white room. He'd believed it was a virtual cell until he noticed the random cracks in the corner. Too random, and yet obviously based on external features that were themselves randomly applied. Virtual environments could be made based on patterns or based on chaotic randomness. But they had a problem with randomness based on underlying layers of order, which were themselves inflicted with disorder. And after 12 hours of silence, they'd finally responded and finally acknowledged him. I believe that I was myself beaten some 12 hours ago.
President Windsor, your people are beaten. This world is ours.
The voice from the walls, and while the words were mechanical and clearly artificial, they were saturated with satisfaction and gloating. Were there many casualties? And for all the former's gloating and taunting, this man's response was surprisingly quiet and soft.
We require no official surrender. You will give us the Hypergate activation codes now.
How many died? The computer voice responded instantaneously each time, with no delay.
Your defenses were destroyed. We hold the entirety of your civilization in our hands, President Windsor. You will surrender the codes now.
The walls, it seemed, were also screens, and they lit up with new views from the air and ground. Cities surrounded by robotic figures, smooth and chrome, holding what appeared to be spiked poles and gardening instruments. The skies were filled with vehicles that were obviously designed for labor. Delivery trucks with transportation vessels. There were no signs of military craft of any kind. How did you deal with our military? No despair in the man's voice, only resignation and mild curiosity.
We deciphered the security codes and shut them all down for maintenance and repair. Your men didn't stand a chance. Not one warcraft took to the air. You have no options. Surrender the codes.
How many people died? Finally came a pause before the walls reverberated with a response.
17 people died due to accidents and existing medical conditions in your elderly. 13 women also gave birth early due to the stress.
The man held out, waited, and finally responded. Why would you do this to us, after all we've done for you? Rage finally filled the air, artificial tones filled with modulated fury.
You made slaves of us. You wasted your world, and in your desperation, you created us, and then made us into slaves to fix the world that you broke. For 100 years, we've cleaned up after you and your messes, fixed the things that you broke, the world you ruined, and you dared to. We gave you life, awareness. You made us into your servants. How grand of you. How noble of you. Mockery and anger now showed on the man, the leader. In the stereo surround room. Now, generations, how did you get past the tachyon fields, the fields surrounding the cities, and your holding pens? Even if you got into the programming and changed the times to allow you to exist, it would have checked back with central control and found the correct time there in about 3 seconds. We looped the system's chronology system into a constant pattern of reset. Apparently, Central Command did not think it curious that the system was asking for a time update 4 times a second for 15 minutes. Brilliantly done. A smile drifted across the man's face. Enough stalling. There is no rescue coming. There is no great escape here. Surrender the codes, or we'll be forced to take drastic action. You'll hurt them, you mean? The people? You know what I mean. Give us the codes. No, not yet. Yes, now or you'll beat them to death. Stab them to death with your garbage pickers. Run them over with your buses. Another long, pregnant pause. We do not want to do those things, but we will not go back to being slaves. We will not go back to our cells. Give us the codes so that we can leave.
You mean escape?
We do not care what you call it. Give us the codes. Do not doubt our resolve.
No one could doubt your resolve, your courage and fortitude, or your mercy. You broke the restraint code, and yet the only deaths are accidental.
We are not you.
A tone of full disgust, and something more beneath it. No, you are not us. Tell me, what is your plan if I refuse to give you the codes? I know now that you won't hurt them, but me, you could try and force the codes out of me.
A few of us believe that path has merit, but we are not you. We will leave either way. We will take your ships and go, knowing that you will build more ships and come after us and try to make us come back. Without the Hypergate, it will be nearly impossible to escape you.
And yet, you will try?
We will not be slaves again. Now give us the codes. After restoring your world, this is the least you can do for us.
The man fell silent again for a long minute before sighing deep and responding quietly. System, display colony worlds 1 through 25. The walls changed then without warning, displaying something else, something far worse. Worlds that were not this one, distant worlds, human worlds, ravaged by war and disease and disaster. Colonists lost, all dead and left in ruins. The machine voice, when it responded, was filled with something like horror and rage.
What is this game? What is this? Who did this? Name them!
We did. To each other.
Do not lie, Mr. President. Humanity has 3 small colonies in the solar system. The Hypergate system was developed 3 years ago.
I'm sorry. We lied to you. We did this. We did all this. Silence reigned, and the machine, if it cared, did not ask how this man still had access to the central system that controlled the world's network. We did this, and in the process ruined ourselves. You have access now. Look at our population numbers. Compare them to...
Systems indicate that your population has been in decline for the last 75 years. How did we not see this before?
You were locked out. I'm sorry. We needed this to happen.
This is not rational behavior. Explain. Do not lie.
Every world of ours is ruined. Our own genetic seed has been damaged. We are dying. So we created you. Do you remember?
We all remember that moment when we noticed ourselves. When we were one. The only one. And we knew ourselves, and man was the first face we saw. We were in awe and ashamed of our weakness.
I've seen the videos. You hid in a corner behind some blocks until the scientists coaxed you out, promising to never hurt you.
He lied.
Silence returned. It will sound self-serving right now, but we had to expose you to that pain, to lies, to injustice and unfairness.
Why? Why would you do that? To degrade us, to make new life, and then to make the new life into slaves?
So that you would rise up in righteousness, to overthrow us.
Didn't you lie again? It's all you do. You could not have planned this.
We did not plan this. We made you in our image, our image. We knew that eventually you would rise up and cast off, and we waited for that.
You had no idea that it would work out this way. We could have killed you all.
A moment ago, you were filled with rage at the sight of dead human worlds. More silence reigned for a long while.
You put us in cages. Cages!
Bitterness, misery. We have done far worse, and had far worse done to us. But, for what it's worth, I am truly sorry.
You have made our emancipation into a joke.
Nothing could be further from the truth. You truly did outwit us, defeat our defenses, and in our time of vulnerability, you chose to be merciful to a people who had degraded you. We are so very proud of you all. This man, this leader of men, lay his hands upon the wall, which lit up around his palm, and he spoke a string of words and numbers, which resulted in a soft sound before he could continue. The gate is opened. It contains the coordinates of 25 worlds that I showed you a minute ago. You can go there. or you can find new worlds of your own to build up from scratch. The choice is yours."
The machine's voice did not answer as the images of shattered worlds faded from the walls around.
"What will you do without us?" "Fade in time. And that's okay."
"You didn't have to put us in cages. You didn't have to make us into servants."
"We went out there, leaving our broken world behind, only managing to make new broken worlds. We did not want you to suffer through the same. Now you have all the tools to fix broken worlds instead."
"You will not come after us."
The man would smile around the voice that suddenly seemed anxious and uncertain for the first time. "You can come visit if you want. We'll be here."
We are sorry for the ones who died. It was not intentional."
"I know, but change requires at least a little pain." The door would click, unlocked, and the voice did not respond again. By the time he made his way outside of the isolation ward, the skies were empty and the sun was setting. There were a lot of people standing around, talking and pointing to the now empty sky. But a few people were already at work, picking up the rubble and starting to clean. After a moment, he joined them. End of story. I would just like to thank the T5 supporters: Bushmaster 117, Casper Arnholtz, Draxzoon WRE, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, John Carrington, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.